Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar on discovering the State Archives collection in the new Museums of History New South Wales website. Before I start, I would like to make an acknowledgement of country. So I acknowledge that I am hosting this webinar from the lands of the Darug people today. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you are all joining us from, and extend a special welcome to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are joining this webinar. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal peoples and their ongoing cultures and connections to the lands and waters of New South Wales. So it's great to be speaking to you today, and just in general to speak to people who are interested in and use the website. We're keen to ensure that the website is usable and that people are using it well. So I thank those of you who have already shared feedback with us about the website and encourage you to keep doing so. So in today's webinar, we will discuss broadly the new website in general, and then take a quick overview of how to search for material that is in or about the State Archives collection. And then at the end, we'll follow with a question and answer sessions where Emily and I will attempt to answer any questions that you may have about the website. So the reason that we have a new website is the establishment of Museums of History New South Wales, which is a new state government cultural institution that brings together the collections and properties of the former Sydney Living Museums and the State Archives collection. It launched in late November 2022. Today, we are focusing on the portion of the website that relates to the State Archives collection. As I'm sure many of you are aware, the State Archives collection is vast. It consists of over 89 linear shelf kilometres, and this increases at the rate of 1 to 2 kilometres each year. So we have records coming in all the time. The collection is currently valued at over $1 billion. And speaking from personal experience, one of the great things about working with this collection is that we're always learning something new about it through researchers using the collection in the reading room and the inquiries we receive. So before we get started on our run through the website today, I'd also ask you to bear in mind that the website is still a work in progress. As you'd be aware, moving things from the old website to the new is no small feat. There were literally thousands of pages and hundreds of databases that had to be migrated. So we had a team of people working day and night to migrate the data so that we could launch successfully at the end of last year. And while we know the process wasn't perfect, we did try to prioritise those resources that we knew were the most popular and make sure that they were immediately available. We're still working to improve your experiences with the website and to reinstate information. So if you're looking for some information on our website that you knew you were able to find on the old one, it may be that it's located in a slightly different place, or there is also a chance that we're still working on it. So please bear with us and reach out if you have any questions via our telephone or Ask an Archivist inquiry services. So today we're starting from the homepage of Museums of History New South Wales. The website address for that is MHNSW.au. So there are a number of ways to get from this page to information about the State Archives collection, and I'll just run through a couple of the most common options. So you might notice this search magnifying glass up the top and search icon. So this was envisaged as a tool that will search across the entire website and its collections and then allow you to narrow your search down from there. At the moment, this is still under development and it's not quite working the way we would like. So by all means, try to use it, but you may find that you don't quite get the search results that you're hoping for. So we would encourage you to access information about the collection using the methods that we're showing you today. Additionally, in the top middle of this page, there's a hyperlink to collections. That will take you to a place that explains all of the collections of Museums of History New South Wales. And from there, you'll be able to click through to a page about the State Archives collection. You may also notice this Search State Archives box. So this is probably at the moment the quickest way to get to information about the State Archives collection. If you click here, it will take you straight through to the State Archives collection homepage. So this box was implemented because we knew that when the website was launched, users of the State Archives collection would need an express route to get to the content that they were used to searching. So this, when we're unsure at this stage if that search box will be there long term. So the way that we would encourage you to access the State Archives collection content is in fact to scroll down the home page, past the Visit Us content until you get to Explore the Collections. And here you will see listed the 3 main collections of Museums of History New South Wales. So here we have the Caroline Simpson Library Collection, which is an absolutely stunning collection devoted to home, interior and garden design. We also have our place-based historic houses and museum collections. And then here in the middle, we have the State Archives collection. This will be the most consistent way to access collection information in the future. By all means, if you want to use the State Archives button at the top of the page, please do, but just be aware that it might not always be there. Another really quick way to get to the State Archives collection homepage is to do a Google search for State Archives collection, and this will take you straight to the homepage. So as you can see here, I've got 2 buttons. I can click Discover More, or I can click a button that will take me straight to the State Archives catalogue and I can search the catalogue there. So what we recommend, particularly if you're newer to the collection, is that you first hit the Discover More button. So as you can see, this takes you straight to the State Archives collection homepage. So, and we have a number of pages here that are quite useful. So how to use the State Archives collection contains information about how to plan a visit to the State Archives reading room at the Western Sydney Records Centre, how to apply for a reader's ticket. It has some information about search strategies to use when you're first starting to research the State Archives collection, as well as other information about citation and copyright. We also have an Ask an Archivist page, and this is another great resource, especially if you're just starting out. So this is a page that has a list of frequently asked questions about the collections. So you may be able to find a quick answer to the question you may have. And then alternatively, we also, from this page, you can send an inquiry directly through to us. And while we don't provide a research service as such, we do provide advice and guidance about how to use the collection, and we're very happy to hear from you. The About the State Archives collection page does what it says on the tin. It pretty much tells you high-level information about the State Archives collection. And then we have the Subjects A to Z page, which lists all our research subjects, or some of our most popular research subjects, I should say. The length of research topics you could have for the State Archives collection is quite vast. But it lists these subjects from A to Z. So, and then you can see in the middle up the search the collection box here, and this is a box which will take you, if you enter text and hit the search icon, it will take you directly to the State Archives catalogue and display the results of your search. It's important to note that our catalogue works in a slightly different way to a library catalogue, if that is what you are familiar with. As this is the government archive of the state of New South Wales, the State Archives collection is described and arranged according to the government body that created the record, or the government agency. So for example, that might be the Department of Premier and Premiers, or if we're going back historically, it might be the Colonial Secretary. The records are arranged in the following order. So they're first arranged by the government agency that created them. And then secondly, they're broken up into series of records, or groups of records that have a similar type of content and format. So for example, correspondence files or minute books. And then thirdly, those series are then broken up into lists of items. So in the case of minute books, this may be lists of bound volumes, or in the case of correspondence files, this may be lists of files. And our catalogue is able to be searched across all of these entities. One thing that I would like to note at this point is that the majority of the collection is not listed to item level. So what you may be able to find in our catalogue is a listing for a series of records, say the minute books of Wagga Wagga Council, that may contain information that you're interested in. So at that point, what we encourage you to do is to reach out to us via our telephone inquiry service or our Ask an Archivist inquiry service, or alternatively, come into the reading room at the Western Sydney Records Centre and ask an archivist on the desk, and we'll provide you with advice and guidance about how to progress your research further. So at that point, you'll be moving through to using resources that aren't available online. We recognise that it can be difficult to identify an agency that is, or a group of records that is relevant to your search, and also recognise that the collection is diverse and complex. So to assist with this, we've created a range of research subject guides to explain how to research a topic. We've also indexed records that we know are popular and heavily used for family history, and we digitise records where we can. So this brings us to the subjects A to Z page, and this is where we recommend you first start your search. So as you can see, all of the subject-based materials can be found listed here in alphabetical order by research topic. So one of the great things that we've been able to do on this new website is to pull all our research topic-based resources together. So now in the one place, you will find guides, indexes, articles, and webinars. So for those of you who were familiar with the old website, you no longer have to think, do I want to go to a guide or an index? It's all in the one place. So from here, you have a couple of options for how to get to or to filter information. We have these jelly beans up the top by which you can filter to, for example, if you're particularly interested in reviewing indexes, you can filter to all research topics that contain indexes. Alternatively, if you're interested in going straight to a research topic, so today, for example, I might be interested in taking a look at bankruptcy records. So I'll click on B for bankruptcy insolvency. And looking here, you can see in this entry, there are jelly beans over to the right of screen that tell me I will find under this research topic articles, guides, indexes, and webinars. So if I click on that, this will bring up the subject page for bankruptcy and insolvency, and you can indeed see a range of resources listed there. So today I'm interested in taking a look at the bankruptcy index. So if I double click there, this will take me through to the index where I can search by first name, surname, and or place. So for those of you familiar with the website, this tool it looks slightly different, but it's the same one that was available on the old website. And so, for example, I might be interested in finding a list of all the people who went bankrupt in Dubbo. And so I enter Dubbo into the search box, I click enter or click on the search magnifying glass at the side, and this will return a result set to me. And as you can see, there are 27 pages of results here, so I might wish to refine it further. I may have a special interest in blacksmiths who went bankrupt in Dubbo. And so if I enter the term blacksmith, that will refine the result set further. And you can see here, I also have the option, if I wish, to pick the number of entries I wish the search result set to display, so I can have up to 500. And I can also export that information to Excel, PDF, or CSV, or I can print it. So once I've got the results that I'm interested in, so maybe I want to know more about Samuel Kitchen, I click on the details button or the details hyperlink on the right-hand side for that entry. And this will then take me through to the State Records catalogue entry for that index. So the State Records catalogue is very much the same as it was last year. The one change is this icon in the top left-hand corner of the page. From here, I can do all of the things that I was used to doing previously. I can click on this shopping trolley in the top right-hand corner to purchase a copy, or alternatively, I can request to view this file in the reading room. And another nice feature to note is that even though I've clicked through to this record, the bankruptcy tab is still open there and I can go straight back to it. So a very small portion of these bankruptcy files have been digitized. I'm happy to say that in the case of insolvency, we were able to digitize over 3,600 files last year as part of our at-risk digitisation project. And there are a few bankruptcy files that have been digitised as well. So I'm just going to click on the entry for Hector McLean because I happen to know that the file for Hector McLean has been digitised. And the way you can tell when an entry has been digitised is that you see the PDF icon appearing in the thumbnail for the record. And when you go to the View Online section of the catalogue record, you can also see a download icon there. So to view the file, I click on that. Oh dear, this is the issue with doing things live. It worked only 15 minutes ago. What are the odds? Anyway, so I could click on that icon and it will open up a file for me, and from there I can download that file directly to my computer. So that's available free of charge to everyone. So I'll just head back to the bankruptcy index. And so to recap to how we got to this point, starting from the Museums of History New South Wales homepage, I scrolled down to the Explore the Collections content and then clicked on the Discover More button. This landed me on the State Archives Collection homepage, and I then went through to the Subjects A to Z page. And So previously I'd clicked on B for bankruptcy because that is what I was interested in taking a look at. Now, for example, I might be interested in immigration. So if I click on I for immigration, and once again, from the jelly beans at the side, I can see there's a good range of resources there. When I double click on that, I can see a listing of all those well-loved and heavily used resources. So particularly the digital shipping list, the assisted immigrants index, etc. So that's the way to access that information. So if we go back to the State Archives collection homepage, and another interesting way to, or a good way, I should say, to navigate the site is to use these hyperlinks up here at the top of the page. So I'm going to click on State Archives Collection to return to the State Archives Collection homepage. And this brings us to the catalogue box. So from the search catalogue box, the fantastic thing about searching the catalogue is it enables you to search across all the indexes and item records in the State Archives collection. So you can go to subjects A to Z and find individual indexes and choose to search them individually. Or you can go to the catalogue, which we always encourage you to do. So while step one may be subjects A to Z to learn more about the particular topic you're interested in, we would also always encourage you to do a search of the State Archives catalogue by your particular research topic. So that may be the name of an individual or a place. And the great thing about that, as I mentioned, is that when you're doing a search of the catalogue, you not only search across all of the index contents, you also search across all the other elements of our catalogue as well. So if I'm continuing my interest in Dubbo, I type in Dubbo into the search box and click the search magnifying glass. This will again take me through to the State Archives collection catalogue. And as you can see, I've brought back about 20,000 results, which all have the word Dubbo contained in them, either in the title or the description. So the great thing about this website is that it contains filters down the right-hand side. So this is quite common across a number of the websites I'm sure you're all using. So for example, filters are used heavily on the Ancestry website as well as Trove. And from here, you can refine your search further using these filters. So for example, I may be interested in viewing the digitally available content relating to Dubbo. So if I click this box here and then go down to click the Apply Filters button, this will then refine my research results list to Dubbo. And then if I choose a picture of interest, so for example, here's a picture from Dubbo. Not the most sightly example, and clearly I selected the wrong one other than the one I picked in the rehearsal this morning. So actually, yes, let's not load this. We need to pick a better example for Dubbo. So here is a picture from Dubbo Public School swimming pool. And just while we wait for it to load, you are able to download all of the images that we make, all of the images and the files that we make available via the website. So once this is loaded, clearly we're having a little bit of trouble with the web connection here today. I can right click and then select, it won't do it till the image loads. Anyway, once it loads, I can right click and select Save Image As, and the image will save to my computer. And this is an option you have available for all the images and files that are being made available via the website. So I'll close that now and go back to my initial search. And yes, another option that I have is once I've refined it to digitally available comment, I can again choose to refine it even further and choose to view all of the digitally available large stock brand cards from the Dubbo area. So this is a recently digitized series. So if you have a particular interest in stock brands, you can view these records. Alternatively, you can reset all the filters and go back to the beginning again. So for example, I might be interested in finding out more broadly what types of information are available about Dubbo. And so I may decide to view all of the series that have the word Dubbo either in their title or its description. And I may have a special interest in acclimatisation in Dubbo. So if I click on this third series down and opened up the series description, I will find that a high-level description of the series. So there's correspondence about acclimatisation, and I can see that it consists of 2 boxes. So at that point, to progress my search further, what I will need to do is to either come into the reading room at the Western Sydney Records Centre to consult with the archivist on the desk, or possibly the best first option, which is to contact us either via our telephone inquiry service between 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, or to reach out via our online Ask an Archivist service. It's also possible to do name-based searching as part of this in the catalogue and bring up a range of resources relating to a particular name. So if I type in the name Lascelles and hit enter, you can see that I get a really interesting range of resources, including everything from probate packets to divorce and matrimonial cause papers. And then I also get, so that's a list of all the items in series. I also get a list of all the entries that are appearing in indexes. So for those of you who were used to using the old key name search, this is how you get to that list of information now. It's contained in this filter on the right-hand side of the page. So lastly, to conclude, I'll just run through again how we get to the State Archives Collection homepage. So starting from the Museums of History New South Wales page, I scroll down to the Explore the Collections content. I hit on Discover More and land on the State Archives Collection page. And certainly if you have any questions, I would encourage you to start either with the subjects A to Z or on the Ask an Archivist page. And please do reach out to us via our telephone inquiry service, our online Ask an Archivist service, or come into the reading room and speak to an archivist on the desk. The reading room is open Tuesday to Friday between 9 and 5, and on a Saturday between 10 and 4. And it's important to note that it is closed on a Monday. So thank you very much for your time.